She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Same for your team at work. Your team is following you. If you don't like the way they're following, you have to check your lead. You have to check how you're leading. Let's go back to following your shot. Yesterday, we talked about a lot of things. One of them was money. 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 I said at the end, if you can't envision it, you'll not have it. And I said, close your eyes and imagine writing your very last check or sending that last bill pay for your debt. Picture it in your head. And if you can't picture it, you'll not get it. Does anyone remember what I said after that? Thank you. I said, write it down. Write down the date, the time. And what else did I say to do? Post it. Post it in places you will see it. Post it in places you will see it. Because if you don't post it in places that you will see it, you will forget about it. Because there's going to be a million, no joke, a million other things are going to pass by your eyes that are going to distract you off of your goal. Who was in San Diego? How many of you heard Harper's message? And how many of you remember, for those of you who don't know, Sean Harper is a former NFL football player. He played for the Rams and the Colts for 6 years. And he was the least likely to ever get to the NFL. Least likely to ever get to the NFL. His friends laughed at him when he told them that that was his goal and that's where he was going. He wasn't qualified scholastically to go to college. He wasn't qualified to actually make it to the game. He wasn't qualified to get to the NFL. And they told him why? You're too slow. And what else? You're not strong enough? Not strong enough and too slow. So the 98%er would go, I'm too slow, and I'm not strong enough. But the 2%er says, well, I better go work out, and I better start running faster. And that's what he did. He trained. Many are called. He trained like an NFL football player, even though he wasn't qualified to be. So he qualified himself. He qualified himself. He showed and proved that he was qualified based on what he was willing to do and willing to learn and willing to stretch himself for to get to where he needed to go. But he had written down in his dorm room NFL, and every day would say, I'm going there. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, even though he wasn't qualified. Even though he was the last likely person to ever hit it. But because that is what he saw, that is what he focused on, he hit it. Listen, where do you have the last day that you'll be paying off your debt posted? Where is it? Is there a reminder in your phone every single day that talks to you? Do you have a piece of paper written down where it says debt-free by date and time? The day, Monday, July 22nd of 2020 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you have that as your screensaver? Do you have that on your bathroom mirror? Do you have that on the refrigerator freaking door? Do you have that on your computer screen at your office? Do you have that next to your RPMs in your car when you're driving? Do you hear what I'm saying? If you do not have this thing posted, you will not follow your shot. This is how we make commitments to things and then completely forget about it. Because there's a million other messages that are going to come at you between now and then, and 10 years from now, you're still going to be in debt, if not further, because you forgot about the decision you made. So a decision is not a decision until you take action, and an action is not an action until you have consistent action. And the action isn't an action unless you get a result. And results happen one shot at a time, 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 one shot at a time. One practice at a time, one practice at a time. Him running farther, him running faster, him lifting more weights. Each week increasing his weights. That's how you win. Yeah. But you don't win when you say, okay, I'm gonna do this. And you do not have a set apart time, set apart action produces a set apart result. So whatever it is that you want to do, how many of you want to lose weight? It's the same thing. You say you want to lose weight, you're willing to buy some pill or potion or DVDs or health plan or essential oil. You'll buy it all and then lose interest in it within a week. Who has done this? Both my hands are up. So we lose interest because we get distracted, but the only reason why we get distracted is because we're not following our shot. That's it, we're just not following our shot. So if you were to follow your shot, you would have a picture of what you want to look like posted everywhere. You'd have the date and time when you have completed it. You will have had the plan in which you will use with appointments in your appointment book of when you are to swallow that pill, rub that oil, work out that body. I'm not joking. You have an appointment of when you're actually getting that done. Do you know what happens when this happens? Let me tell you something. This is the difference between crisis life management and living life by design. Okay? Crisis life management is this. Most of us in the 98% do not do anything until we're in a crisis. Yeah. In fact, that's how most of you got here. How most of you ended up here is because you're in a crisis. You are. You were in a financial crisis. You were in an emotional crisis. You were in a marriage crisis. You were in a business crisis. Some kind of relationship crisis. That's generally how most of you ended up here. Who does this apply to? You had some kind of crisis. So we are the crisis helpline. I don't want that. I want you to live your life by design, not by crisis. And do you know that crisis is a habit? And crisis is an addiction. Why? Because crisis produces adrenaline. Crisis produces adrenaline, and crisis forces you to live by faith or to die. So we get addicted to crisis, and we create crisis. And how do we create crisis? I've already explained it. How do we create crisis in our health? You're not following your shot. You know you need to get healthier. You say you need to get healthier. You raise your hand and say, yes, I'm going to get healthier. This year I'm going to get healthy. 2018, I'm going to win in my health. And you're already back to the donuts and the Starbucks drive-thrus. Yeah, and why are we already back to the donuts and the drive-thru? Not following your shot. It has nothing to do with the distraction. You just simply didn't follow your shot. That's all. And then I get questions of, Dani, how do I not get distracted? Follow your freaking shot. Follow your shot. And so you're trying to pick up books on how to not to get distracted. Trying to go to some healing seminar and so you don't get distracted. You're trying to bind up the demon of distraction. Then some of you blame the devil for distracting you. The only way anyone can distract you is if you're looking for it. When people are focused on following their shot, they don't get distracted. They get it done. So increase your value. Let me tell you one place. If you focus on one place this year, one place to increase your value is following your shot. One place. Become incredibly efficient by simply following your shot. If you know you're going to miss them, which you better know you're going to miss your shots, then you better follow them. And when you follow them, you make more money. You become more dependable. Excellence gets produced. We're talking about increasing your value. These are the areas, okay, first of all, what increases your value into the marketplace? Hold on. New people, I want you to answer me. You were here yesterday. What increases your value into the marketplace? She got the answer. Skill. So at the top of your page, I want you to write increase value or increase my value. Increase my value. Here are 7 areas to increase your value. Number 1, increase your value in relationships. I want you to think about right now all the places that relationships lead to. New people, think. Grads, I want you to listen. I want you grads to go from the place of thinking you know the right answer to really knowing the right answer. How do you know the right answer? You have results that prove you know the right answer. Your results prove if you know the answer. Don't know it from here. Know it by the results. So new people, we want to create room for the new soon-to-be grads of First Step Success to think and to not to be told the answer. By the way, that's called leadership development. When you're always telling everybody the answer, they're not owning the answer. They're not discovering the answer. That which a human discovers, they own it. But if they're told something, they're not necessarily committed to the thing. So new people, relationships, think about all the different places that relationships touch. Think about it. What are some places relationship touch? Your heart, your mind, your soul. So that can be healthy or it can be crisis, right? What else does relationships touch? There's no wrong answer here. We're just brainstorming. It touches your finances. She's exactly right. Money comes from relationships. If you build relationship first, money will follow. You build relationship first, money will follow. Okay? So what comes out of relationships? So someone says money. Yes, because money comes from people. What else? Huh? Did you say health? Yes, health can come from relationships and every form of health, right? What else? Yes, which would also be, what does love do to us? There's one that we're missing here. It's called fulfillment. Love brings fulfillment. That's what everyone's looking for. Everyone's looking for fulfillment. And guess where 98% of the population is looking for fulfillment in? Everything we talked about yesterday, looking for it in money. But you can't get fulfillment from money. Love brings fulfillment. Love brings fulfillment. It's true. If you've ever really had it, you know it's true. And if you haven't had it, you're searching for it every other place.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. Stay right here for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
Do you have a closet full of clothes yet say, I have nothing to wear? Are you a mom doing her best but desperately lacking me time? Or maybe your schedule has you dressing practically instead of powerfully. What if I told you there's a system, a blueprint that can save you time, money, and turn every head in the room, as well as impact the world through fashion? Friend, you're in the fashion business whether you like it or not. You're an ambassador representing your faith, your marriage, family, and business. Style is just a skill made easy with 123 Style Me. 10 steps to style success that will expand your leadership, save you hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars. This program will bring you peace of mind, reignite your marriage, make you more productive, respected, and instantly boost your confidence, equipping you to be bold and beautiful. Go to courses.lindapage.com. Again, that is courses.lindapage.com and make a priceless investment in yourself. Are you confident that you're always getting a good deal? Have you been equipped with the negotiation confidence, strategies, tactics, and supporting tools you need to close world-class deals? Finally, JPA is making the exact same specialized negotiation training and secrets used by the world's largest, most successful corporations available to everyone. Proven in more than 60 countries and used by brands like Adidas, Vodafone, Pfizer, Nokia, and others, the JPA negotiation method will set you up to save money and time while significantly increasing your profits. It doesn't matter if you're buying or selling real estate, closing contracts with suppliers, or selling products and services to individuals or organizations. Using their simple step-by-step negotiation preparation checklist, you'll be ready to confidently slug it out toe-to-toe with the toughest professional negotiators. It's time for you to stop leaving money and opportunity on the table. Go to bizneg.com/events to register now. Again, that's bizneg.com/events. Get registered today.
More resources, more training, more results. The DaniJohnson.com Insider Membership is your ultimate success shortcut. Get exclusive access to reports, videos, audios, ebooks, cheat sheets, and other training for your personal and professional life. This is truly DaniJohnson.com's best kept secret. Become an Insider member today and get on the fast track to success.
Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what poverty-stricken families are dealing with in Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic needs of food, clean water, and safe housing. But a miracle is in the making, and you can be a part of transforming Nicaragua. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Nicaragua. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
The way you look at things is about to change. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
First millionaire I ever had the opportunity to learn from taught me something really, really valuable. And it was this. A few things, but here's one of them. Find someone who has what you want and learn from them. Another thing. Learn more about people than you do your product or your company, and you will be unusually successful. Learn more about people than you will your product or your company, and you'll be unusually successful. Amateurs know a lot about their product and their company and know nothing about people. But the highly successful people that operate in the world today and have operated since the beginning of time have had a great understanding about people. Guess what market research is? It's the study of what? People. Market research is the study of people. Political candidates do what before every campaign? Study people. They study people. This is how we watch. How many of you watched the elections a couple years back? Or how many of you watch the elections in general? It's a great study of people, and it's a great study of marketing. Today, our elections are nothing but marketing, and it has been for a long, long, long time. And today, because people have access to data very quickly, like in real-time data, where they have people knocking on doors and doing surveys with people and asking how are they responding to a particular political candidate and what it is that you want to hear from them. And then all of a sudden you hear the candidate say exactly what the people said they want to hear from them. This is called market research and public masturbation. It's what it is. That's what it is. So the fact is that most of us in this room have more product and company knowledge than we have of the knowledge of those that we work and live with. We have a deeper understanding, and guess what? Because society has told us if we can look smart, then we're successful. It's a lie. Who gave us that pitch? The school system. The school system pitched to us that success is what? Being smart. There's a lot of smart, broke people out there. There's several in this room. Seriously, there's a lot of smart, broke people out there. They got all the straight A's, they went to college, they got a PhD, they're flat broke. And some of them are flat broke emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, their marriage and all of their relationships, they're freaking broke in every way, shape, and form of the word. So society said that if you're smart, then you're successful. That is why. That was to sell a $100,000 education package. That's what that is. Yeah. To sell you a $100,000 education package. Everything, friends, is marketing, including the Bible. What happens at church is marketing. Yeah. It's all marketing. Yeah. God was the first one that invented it. He tells us exactly how to do it inside of the best success book ever written. It's not that difficult. And guess what? Follow your shot is in the book. Over and over and over again. It's in the book. Okay, so learn more about people than you do your product or your company. So how much do you know about your prospect? How much do you know about your existing customers? How much do you know about their dog, their cat, their friends, their family, their interests, the thing that gets them excited? Do you know what those things are? And actually, let's take it one step backwards. What about your first string team? How much do you know about what's in the heart of your spouse? What dream is inside of their heart that they're afraid to tell you? That they might tell their friend, but they won't tell you. Because they're afraid that you will pounce on it, won't support it, will think it's stupid. The reason why your spouse doesn't talk to you is because they're afraid you will not listen. And you're the most important person in their life. So because you're the most important person in their life, they're afraid of you hurting them by not supporting the dream that's in them. So they won't share the dream that's in them. And why? Because every time there's a conversation, there's an argument instead of support. There's justification. Well, I can't support her, I can't support him because that's arrogance. Your because is arrogance. Because is justifying. That's straight up arrogance. So how much do you know about what's in the heart of your children? What's the vision that's inside of them? What's been planted in them? What are their talents? What are their skill sets? What are their natural bends? What do they like? What do they not like? Or are we too busy focusing on what we like?
Be sure to tell a friend about the Dani Johnson Show. It just might be the key to the breakthrough they need. Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First Steps to Success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS.
I'm from Houston, Texas, and I've been completely inspired by this event. And it was payday this week, and instead of me going and splurging and spending money like I typically would have, I paid off $2,700 worth of debt, and I am extremely excited to get the rest of our debt paid off. And I also implemented a plan. We've been living off of a lot of money, and I did the numbers last night, and we can live off of $5,000 a month and get our debt paid fast. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much.
And it's your first event, right?
It is my very first event.
So awesome.
So excited.
This is your chance. This is your shot. Get your copy of War on Debt right now. There's one waiting for you that has your family's name on it. And inside that package is freedom. Your freedom, your family's freedom is on the inside of that package. All you have to do is open it up, press play, and start applying what I teach you in this program. 888-757-8880. You and I are going to help your family become completely debt-free in the next 5 to 7 years. Just imagine how that's going to feel.
Did you know you can take the Dani Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Dani with the DaniJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you. What multimillionaire do you know that volunteers their time to help ordinary people like you and me? There's only one. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Become genuinely interested in them, and you will have the support that you need. If you have no support, listen to me carefully, it's the law of reaping and sowing in action. Everything going on in your life is because of something you've sown. Some of you need to pray for crop failure. Because this is a year of increase. That's what I just said. This is a year of increase. So if you're going to sow bad, this is the year of increase. Yeah, no, we all want just the good part, don't we? We all want the good part. But it's the law of increase. It doesn't say it's the law of increase of only good.
That is so good. I didn't even think of that.
Do you hear me? It doesn't say this, it says it's a year of increase. Whether you grow thistles and thorns, this is the year of increase. Be careful what you're going to plant this year. Be careful what you're going to plant this year. Because it's a year of increase. And if you're going to increase selfishness and arrogance and no support to your spouse and your kids, well then by golly, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get an increase of what? No support. You're going to get an increase of arrogance coming at you. You're going to get an increase of exactly what it is that you put into them is going to increase and come right back out to you. And vice versa. So some of you who are not paying attention, you're going to increase in both places. So at the same time, you might be having an increase outside of your first string team of growth and money and all of this kind of stuff. Guess what you're going to have as an increase over here if you're not taking care of those 8 areas of your life? That's what you'll have. The increase is raining down right now. It's raining down right now. It's raining down right now. Okay, so relationship is the number one place to increase your skills because it is the number one place where you're going to find fulfillment in everything you do. No other place are you going to have as much fulfillment as you will in the area of increasing your skill set in relationships. First string first, what? Second string second. Now let me tell you something. When you gain the skill set of increasing your ability to handle conflict in the home and outside of the home with your extended family members, right? When you increase your skill set and you increase your humility, by the way, the greatest, easiest way to increase your relationship skills is increase your humility. Amen. That's it right there. Increase your humility. So I'm going to use this as an example. We had several people ask, they have a spouse who is depressed. What do I do? Well, what does humility do? If humility is, and I love this, last event I said, I want a jersey that has a big fat H on it. I want an H like everywhere. I want to see H, the letter H everywhere. Why? Because it's humility. To me, it's like, that's got to be my playbook for 2018. is humility. So if my husband is depressed, I have two choices: arrogance or humility. Please tell me what arrogance says. Huh? You're lazy.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Get over it. What's your deal? Pull your head out. You have so much to be thankful for. Grow up. Huh? Just take a pill. I can't handle this anymore. That's what arrogance says. And avoiding the person. But tell me, what does humility say? How may I help you? Meeting them right where they're at. Meeting them right where they're at.
Sit on the floor with them.
Sit on the floor with them in the corner. Put your arm around them. Show them kindness and love. Kindness and love. You see what I'm saying? Look at some of you like, what? Patience. You married the person. Not bragging about your success. Giving a simple, kind word of encouragement. This will pass. I believe in you. And if you never get off of this floor, I'm still going to love you. Even if you never get off of this floor, I'm going to love you. Even if this never changes, my love for you is never going to change. That's what humility says. That's what humility says. Especially with your spouse. Especially with your spouse. And somebody that has not been able to leave their house in years, and somebody that is not out there in the marketplace working, guess what? Guess what's going on inside of them? Especially if it's a man. Do you have any idea what's going on inside that man? His manhood has been cut off. Because a man is here to provide for his family. And something has weaseled its way inside of this head. And if it's a wife who is putting him down, she has aided in that depression and that emasculation. So if we have emasculated, we have to lift that person back up. Even if you never change, I want you to know I love you. Whether or not we can live in this toxicity the way that we are is a whole nother story, but I want you to know I love you. And that's never going to change. Learn more about people than you do your product and your service, and you will be unusually successful. Learn more about people. Learn more about your husband, more about your wife. She's complicated, which is what you actually love about her. She is forever a challenge, and you'll never be bored. You'll never be bored. And if you are bored, it's because you are looking at other things. It's because you're looking for fulfillment in other places. And it's not working, and you know it's not working. It's not working at all. It says, confess and be healed. Then it's repentance. So it's go back and make it right. Repentance is you got to go fix it. And whoever we've been an arrogant a-hole to, we just, please forgive me, man, I screwed that up. I was on the phone with my husband for an hour and a half crying when I discovered that I was that same thing that you were. I did. I felt so bad. I'm so sorry. I can't believe how many times I've done this. Because I don't think it's in any of our hearts of intention to do on purpose. It's not. It's not in any of our hearts to do intentionally. And guess what that says to the arrogant people who are around you? It's not in their heart to do intentionally either. But boy, it's so easy for us to judge them, to say that that's the way they are, they're never going to change, and they're doing it on purpose. No one is an a-hole on purpose. And when somebody is an a-hole, it is because we're hurting inside. Something's hurting inside. But nobody is that way on purpose. Nobody is that way on purpose. So if we're a team player, we're giving them the benefit of the doubt and we're coming alongside to bring comfort and kindness instead of pouncing on them, why are you such an a-hole? Because how many of you have asked that question before? Please tell me how well it works. Please tell me how well it, come on, tell me, how well what is the answer generally? Exactly, right? They just say, no, you're the a-hole. You're the a-hole that's calling me an a-hole right now. And guess what? They're right. They're totally right. They're totally right. Okay, so relationship is the key, hello. Faithful with the ruler over. So if you're faithful in relationships, you're going to be ruler over much more relationships. What does more relationships bring? Opportunity, money, support, love, fulfillment. And if we're not sowing correctly, what does it bring? Stress, heartache, and pain. Do you understand? Are both supposed to be in our life? Are both supposed to be in our life? I'm going to ask this question again. Are both stress and love supposed to be in our life? Yes! You are not living in heaven, you fool! That's the same answer. Are you supposed to hit 100% of your shots? No! Can you win the game without hitting 100% of the shots? Yes. Can you win the game without hitting 100% of the shots? Yes. So can you win the game with stress? Yes. Don't be afraid of it.
This is the Dani Johnson Show. Did you know you can take the Dani Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Dani with the DaniJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you. Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First steps to success, register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS.
My name is Mario Johns. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. And I just want to share with you on April 14, 2013, that was the first day I heard the name Dani Johnson. And I was so inspired by her story. And I just had to find out, how did she go from homeless to millionaire? And it was just so inspiring to me. So I went on DaniJohnson.com and I started getting the daily emails, the daily fixes. And then after a while, I just stopped reading them for some reason. And August of 2013, it was 4 days before my first event. After work, I went on YouTube, and I typed in Dani Johnson's name, came to my mind, so I typed it in on YouTube, and I sat at my kitchen table for about an hour and just listened to testimonial after testimonial. And I was just so inspired. I'm like, I have to get to this first steps to success. And I had no money. I didn't know how I was going to get there. The funny thing was, a week prior to this day, I got a credit card in the mail that I never asked for. It was a $1,200 credit limit. I was going to cut it up, but I figured I'd save it for like the emergency. I got my event ticket, my flight, and my hotel room. I maxed that sucker out, and I came down to Dallas, Texas. And the first 3 hours of the first day, I was just like in tears the whole time. I was just so blown away. It was something that I was just so hungry for. And prior to plugging in, I was a depressed, hopeless, suicidal drug addict. I hated myself, I hated life, I hated other people. I felt like a slave to debt, and I actually accepted debt as part of my life. I had toxic relationships, and I was, and since plugging in, I've been drug-free for 15 and a half months now. I paid off over $13,000 worth of debt in a little over 13 months. I've completely restored my relationships with my family, my friends. I have amazing friends today from around the world. I love my life, and this is just an honor to be up on this stage. But if I just want to say, if you're new here, one thing that I wish I did is one of my favorite products is War on Debt, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't been following that as like I should be. My first event, if I got War on Debt and followed that with diligence, today I'd be debt free. So I just want to encourage you, if you're new here and you have debt, I highly recommend getting that, because that's by the end of this year I want to be debt free, and that's my goal. So please help me welcome back to the stage America's favorite millionaire, Dani Johnson.
The way you look at things is about to change. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
That's the first place to increase your skill, which increases your value. Number 2 is team development, which is also connected to what? And this is a specific skill right here, team development, which I have to say most people suck at this one. They do. I'm blown away how much people suck at that one. It is a very rare skill. No, it's wild to me. It's like really wild to me. It's a really wild thing to me. And I'm going to tell you the root of why most people are not good at developing teams is because they don't have number 1 right. Because who's on a team? People. So if someone if someone is lacking skill in the relationship category, they can't develop a team well. They can't motivate a team well. But does that mean they can't learn? They can learn, right? And the main thing is that the person is often leading with what their interests are instead of what the interests of the team is. The goal of a team is different than your personal goal. Do you hear me? You can't win a game on your personal goal. You can't win a game on your shots alone. You can't win a game on your rebounds alone. You can't win a game on you following your shot alone. You can't win the game by yourself. It takes a team to win the game. And so most people do not have an understanding of people, therefore they can't build teams. So you have people that are really good at recruiting people, but they cannot motivate those people. They don't know how to lead those people. They don't know how to direct those people. So that is a skill to develop, and that has high value in the marketplace, super high value. So it's not only recruiting a team, but it's developing the team. It's developing the best out of the team. Okay, so how do you know whether or not you're good at this? Look at your results. Where is your team? How are they healthy? Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially? What are their results? What's the result of the entire team? That Best Success book and that financial book I was telling you about says this: many hands lighten the load. Many hands lighten the load. But see, an amateur leader wants to carry the load themselves, all by themselves. Why? Because I can count on my skill. I can trust that I will do it. And therefore, they never develop anyone else to do it themselves. So that's a skill, a very important one. I'm recruiting people right now I'm looking for people who have that skill, who have developed that skill. That's who I need on my team. That's who you need on your team. Okay, number 3 is financial skills. Really super important. So freaking important. Why financial skills? so that you don't have people spending money on your behalf on pink frickin' salt. We live in a culture of excess. And if you have the wrong person in charge of spending money, they will spend you out of business. I'm going to say that again. If you have the wrong person in charge of spending the money who is an excess person, and you don't have accountability measures on that person, and you don't have audits consistently on that person, then that person will spend you out of business. Even though you could have a culture of war on debt, those people continue to put themselves in and out of debt. And that's exactly how they'll spend money on your behalf in your company. So with playing team and developing a team is you put an auditor with the spender. And you create budgets for everybody. And you have boundaries and checkpoints with those boundaries to make sure that we're staying within the realm of what we are allowing to spend on these particular things. That person isn't trying on purpose to put you out of business or to spend you out of business. Their heart is to do the right thing. But their training from all the years has taught them to not pay attention to the little things, but to go after the expensive things instead. And if everything's gonna be expensive, you're gonna be out of business in no time. No time at all. So therefore, a team needs the auditor, which this is one of them, okay, and the go and doer. Both are important on a team. So financial skills are hugely important. I'm going to tell you something. People with a high level of financial skills do very, very well in the world, and those are usually the ones that end up wealthy. They are. They're the ones that end up wealthy. Nobody else does because they don't have financial skills. What are they? I've been telling you financial skills since yesterday. Yeah. Since yesterday, I laid the foundation for the principles of it, of prosper where you're planted, and the law of promotion, which is what? Faithful with the little. Always be looking at those little things. Naturally, the big things won't be bought if you're looking at the little things. If you have that thing to go, okay, how is this dollar going to pay me? Not how can I spend the dollar? How is buying pickles going to pay me? How is buying pickles for the staff going to benefit the overall bottom line? Is buying a $4 jar of pickles actually going to yield what I want? In fact, what do I want to yield? Well, I like pickles, so it's worth the $4. Okay, great. So you want what you want. You don't want to do what's best for the team. You can say ouch. Do you understand what I'm saying? I like pink salt. Is pink salt best for the team? Would the team rather have a bigger bonus or pickles? Do you understand? Would they rather have a bigger bonus or pickles? They want a bonus. They don't buy pickles for themselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just using this as an analogy. It's just an example that we justify stuff, not thinking of money being seed. And if there's someone on the team that has a tendency to not think of money as seed, then that just simply means that there's someone else on the team that needs to engage in these decisions. That's all. Doesn't mean that they're removed from that. In some cases, if there's a continuous failure in that, then yes, they have to be removed from that. But there just has to be consistent teamwork of, okay, awesome. Everybody needs an editor. Write that down. Everyone needs an editor, and everyone needs an auditor. Everyone needs an editor. Everyone needs an auditor. It's so funny when people get afraid when there's an IRS edit. Why are you afraid if there's an IRS edit? Why are you afraid if there's an IRS edit? Because you're hiding something. Or you think you screwed something up. Why? Because you weren't watching what was going on. You're not sure if you did it right. This is why if you have an auditor all the way through, you have nothing to worry about. Boom, there you are, there's the books. And by the way, and if that person if the auditor comes in, it's like, man, show me, I want to learn. Show me where I hid something. Show me where I misunderstood something. Show me where I put something in the wrong category. Teach me. Hello, everyone needs an auditor. Hello, look at this. Arrogance says what to an audit? What does arrogance say to an audit? No. Let me say it this way. What does arrogance say to an editor? I don't need it. I did it right. What are you talking about? I followed directions. I know what I'm doing. That's what arrogance says to an audit. What does humility say to an audit? Shine your light, baby. Show me where it is. I want to learn. This is awesome. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here.
The next segment might just change your life. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Prior to getting started with DaniJohnson.com and First Steps to Success, we were spending absolutely every dime that we made. We were really struggling financially. Since plugging in to First Steps to Success just 4 months ago, we started a brand new business that is doing very, very well. We've paid off $4,500 in debt, but the most important thing is my relationship with my husband has improved like dramatically. I mean, we have so much more fun together. You know, I don't know about you, maybe your finances, you're doing great, maybe you're debt-free, maybe your relationships with your spouse, with your family are great. But if not, if you have some areas in your life that feel a little out of control or there's things that you need to work on, I highly recommend getting to First Steps to Success as soon as you can.
Prior to being dragged out to First Steps to Success, I was hopeless. I had no point to life. It was a day-to-day existence, working a job I despised for people I didn't respect. Deeper and deeper debt every year. You just couldn't get on top of it. I just had no hopes or dreams, none at all, and there was no point to life. But since coming out, we paid off $280,000 worth of debt, married the woman of my dreams. I came to love my job and the people I work for. I have all kinds of hopes and dreams. I get to watch them happen every day. I don't know what your life is like, you know. There's probably tons of hope. You probably know why you live and you got places you're going, but if you don't, you need to sign up for First Steps to Success. You go to DaniJohnson.com and you click on it and be here, because your life will not be the same if you do.
Prior to First Steps to Success, I was drowning in debt, I was terrified of my bills, and I wanted to travel, but I never had the money. And since coming to First Steps to Success, in the last 14 months, I've paid off over $18,000 in debt. I've gone on 6 vacations, and I'm not terrified of my bills anymore. So if you want to learn some proven strategies to really learn how to connect with people, take your life to the next level, all while having a total blast, you need to get registered for the next First Steps to Success today.
Prior to coming to First Step to Success, we were totally struggling, totally under the weight of $640,000 worth of debt, making $20,000 a month, but living paycheck to paycheck. So when we came here, and I realized that it takes a totally different skill set to keep money, to create wealth, than it is to make money, I have totally turned around our lifestyle. We have paid off $640,000 worth of debt in 2 years. We are debt-free as of June of 2013. I don't know where you're at. You might have all your finances in order. You might have a wonderful life. Your marriage might be all perfect and your kids are behaving. But if not, if one of those things is lacking, you gotta get here. Book your next event. You need to be here. You will not regret it.
Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school.
Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what poverty-stricken families are dealing with in Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic needs of food, clean water, and safe housing. But a miracle is in the making, and you can be a part of transforming Nicaragua. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Nicaragua. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Okay, maybe you don't understand an editor and an auditor. It's somebody perhaps looking for what isn't right. And the point of looking for what isn't right is not to pounce on you, but it's to help you get better. The arrogant one says, you're just trying to show me where I'm wrong. You're just pointing out where I'm screwing up. No, humility says, thank you for pointing that out. I will do better with that next time. I didn't even see that. I appreciate that. That's like with me and Hans. If something is going on, if there's a miscommunication or there was an assumption or whatever, because guess what? We're human and those things happen, okay? And I love the way he does this. It's amazing, and I do my best to do it with him as well. And it's, thank you, honey, for pointing that out. Thank you for showing me that, because I certainly do not want to do that. That is definitely not my heart's intention. Last thing in the world is I want you to feel like that. Versus, I didn't do that. This is what I said. This is how that worked. This is the way that went. That's arrogance. Humility says, thank you for pointing that out. That's really helpful information, because I do not want to do that again. By the way, that was your big tip on conflict resolution. Amen. That's your big tip. That's all you need. Humility. What does humility sound like in an argument? Thank you so much for showing me that. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. That was really wrong. Man, that's really helpful. Financial skills. People with good financial skills do very, very, very well in the marketplace. I mean, really, really well. Good financial skills are wanted by companies. And they are wanted by husbands. They are. Good financial skills is wanted in the home, and it is wanted in the marketplace. It has very high value. So a high level of financial skills is easy to learn. It really is the simple principle of being faithful with the little. So it's like, rather than looking for more of what you think you need, look for less. I want you to leave here committing yourself to being a minimalist. Leave here committing to being a minimalist. What does that mean? Less. You're looking for less, you're not looking for more. Okay? If there's any place you're looking for more, it's more to learn. One of the things that I have, for example, our events department on this year doing is looking for things to get rid of. That's the goal this year, is not looking for things to add. Some people are constant adders. In fact, most people are adders. You're always adding more stuff to your closet without getting rid of stuff first, right? We're adding more stuff into the garage without getting rid of stuff first. Listen to me carefully. In the year of increase, you could really hurt yourself if you don't purge. You have to let go from what is behind in order to make room for more.
If this episode was an encouragement to you, go to DaniJohnson.com and share it with your friends now. You never know who else needs to hear it. This has been the Dani Johnson Show. Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for more insights that will help you get to the life you've always wanted.